Good morning. Good morning, everybody, ladies and gents. Welcome to Nino's Circus. I will be your host this morning. I like to do little different things here and there. Folks, I named this video it's going nuclear, approaching nuclear, choose your lane. And I really mean that. A lot of you are going to fold up camp during this time and bow out. I promise you. This shit's about to get heavy. You have to realize this. It's going to be at your front door. This is not something. The revolution is not going to be watched on TV, folks. You're not going to just watch this on TV and say, oh, that's interesting. It's going to hurt all of your pocketbooks. You're going to see crime spiking around your neighborhoods. You're going to see a lot of suicides, a lot of mysterious deaths. A lot of things are coming, folks. This war is real. Believe me when I tell you, if you're not feeling it now, you're about to. You're gonna. Folks, you can Venmo me D-Rod 1977, D-Rod 1977. I appreciate any contribution. This helps me keep going. It really and I try to answer every question on there, and I much appreciate every single one of you. Believe me when I say that. I'm going to jump right into the ads because I got an important broadcast this morning. Fighter flare flashlight, the Molly Whopper. The Molly Whopper. I've been hit with these. Many times in Juarez, Mexico, or as I like to call it, Juarez, Mexico. And it does not feel good. The U.S. just experienced its largest annual increase in murders ever, according to FBI statistics, and it's going to keep going up, folks. Believe me, it's going to keep going up. According to FBI statistics, the national murder rate rose 30% in 2020, the highest it's been in 6 decades. Crime is at an all-time high. Self-defense is more relevant now than ever. The fighter flare flashlight is my favorite self-defense tool. Here is why. Firstly, the fighter flare flashlight has an ultra-bright strobe light that can blind attackers. Secondly, it's powerful. It's powered entirely by built-in solar panels. Third, the fighter flare flashlight comes with a built-in compass in case you get lost, wire cutter, and lighter, and more. I recommend the fighter flare flashlight or the Molly Whopper for all my followers, listeners, but remember, there is a classic backup in the supply chain across the country, which is highly engineered. If you order today, you'll get your fighter flare flashlight in time for Christmas, plus 25% off during the pre-Blackout Friday special using promo code Black Friday. I'm sure it still works. I'm a little late on this ad. Go to fighterflare.com or click the link below, folks. Click the link below. Folks, I'm thinking about taking December off, and because I want to live my life, and I want to enjoy myself. I'm still sober. Good news is I'm still sober. I'm coming up on 2 years, and I'm not going to lie to you. Every day I think about going to the bar and just saying fuck all this, going to the bar, and enjoying my life because there's a part of me that says you know what. I know how hard this is going to get, and it'd be so easy for me just to put my head in the sand and just say, screw it, I'm not doing this anymore. And a lot of you are going to be feeling the same way, but we got to keep each other strong. We have got to keep each other strong, and we got to hold each other's feet to the fire. And I expect you guys to do that with me because it's about to get really rough. It's about to get really rough. I've been talking to the Ghost. I've been talking to 107. And folks, what don't you understand about a near-death experience? A near-death is not like, oh, I survived a car crash, but near-death is when you fucking flatline and come back, which I've done, which I've personally done. That's where we're going with this. That's where this is going. We're going to feel like we lost our country, as if we don't already. As if we don't already. When the lights go out on Amazon, I know a lot of you are losing your jobs. A lot of you are suffering because of this, because you don't want to get it because you're smart. So I understand times are tough right now. The Mexican Mix, just leave an honest review, folks. That's all we ever asked for. Thank you so much. The Mexican Mix, my mama's book. Folks, Spotify, Nino's Corner on Etsy. It's Nino's Corner store. Get yourself a tumbler. Get yourself a tumbler. And Nino's Corner.tv. We got Brad Olson coming up. The Ghost is back today, folks. The Ghost is back today. I got Wayne Jett coming back on. He's convinced that the Insurrection Act was signed. I was told it was not. Now, I'm taking that from a few people that told me the Insurrection Act was not signed by Trump. But Wayne Jett thinks differently. He wants to come on my show and talk about that, which I let everybody have a platform on my show because we got to listen to everybody, folks. Everybody has a voice. We're trying to figure out this together. And by the way, I appreciate the emails from all of you. Those of you that do the investigative work and want to send me emails of what you figured out or what you feel is happening, I read them. I'm calling you Nino's investigators. Nino's investigators. Because, yeah, I'll tell you what, you're holding my feet to the fire. And when I get something wrong, you fucking let me know. I also got Alex Collier coming up and Matthew Tyler. I'm teaming up with Laura Eisenhower once again to do the interview with Alex Collier because it's about alien stuff. And I think that's an important topic right now. Some of you might call them demons, angels, whatever. But we got to talk about it. I also want to say happy birthday, Wyatt. Happy birthday, buddy. Happy birthday, Wyatt Lombardi. I hope you're having a good one, buddy. Also, folks, Patriot Nightcap is on my sister's channel. My sister thinks this is easy. She thinks she can do what I can do. Anyway, go give her some support. She's building her own channel on YouTube, Patriot Nightcap, with mi hermana. Coming at you live from the apocalypse. Happy birthday, Wyatt. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I have a correction to make before I go any further. So from one of the Nino's investigators, you guys like my corny shit. Oh, so correction, Nino. Now, if some of you might want to fact check this, look into this. Trump flew on the Epstein jet one time, they're claiming, and was a small commuter jet, not the Lolita Express. Flight was from Florida to New Jersey. 2 other people were on board, not Epstein or Maxwell. Seems to be a matter of convenience. So that's interesting. I like you guys to dig into that a little bit more. So if he did not fly on the Lolita Express, then you guys know what to do. Fact check that. And that's just it. So I've always said if you guys catch me in some bullshit, I'll come out and correct it. How do you guys like Omicron so far? Stealing the news cycle. That's what they're doing. And when I say we're approaching nuclear, I've heard, talking to Juan, talking to the Ghost, talking to other people, that as we approach this time, going into Christmas, Omicron is going to intensify. They're looking for lockdowns around the world. They're looking to do this once again, but this time permanently. So understand that that's what they got in store for you. That's what they're bringing. That's what the globalists are going to do. They're going to go all in now. And I'm hearing around January, February, March, it's going to really intensify. And that's why I say you got to choose your lane now, folks. Choose your lane. Are you going to fold up tent and take it in the ass? Or are you going to say, fuck this. I'm going to be proactive and do what I got to do as an American citizen. So there's already some funny business happening. The circus has already began, folks. The circus has already began in the Maxwell trial. So the circus begins. A juror was excused from the Maxwell trial because her spouse has surprised her with a last-minute Christmas vacation that could last up to 3 to 6 weeks. Shit is about to get wonky, folks. It's about to get wonky. Jurors are being excused because they got Christmas vacation. The most important trial of the century of humanity. But Christmas vacation is just a little more important. Bullshit. They're being fucking threatened. So it gets off to even more of a bumpy start because even multiple jurors go missing. So multiple jurors now are going missing. One stating they just forgot about the trial. I guess he had something else to do. While others are stating other various issues. Oh, like I'm sick. The wonky business has started. The circus has begun, folks. But the only circus you should be concerned with is Nino's circus. Jeffrey Epstein, access to the White House laid out by visitor logs revealing the pederast visited the former president at least, listen to this number here, 17 times. 17 times, including a dozen in 1994 and twice in one day on 3 separate occasions. Now, I told you, along with this Maxwell trial, depending on the direction it's going, we already see the funny business happening. Mysterious deaths and suicides will happen. So here's one mysterious death that came upon my desk, and that is Louis Vuitton and Off-White are devastated to announce the passing of Virgil Abloh, A-B-L-O-H, on Sunday, November 28th, of cancer, which he has been battling privately for several years. This guy, as far as I know, you guys might want to fact check this, was on the flight logs. So, bye. We see another step down. Austrian Chancellor Schallenberg says he will now step down. In India, Bill Gates has officially been charged with murder over So Bill Gates is to me probably one of the most evil men to ever walk this planet besides Hitler. But this guy's doing it stealth. The problem that we're dealing with right now, folks, is that we have Soros, we have Bill Gates, these globalists, these powerful men and some women that are operating together to destroy humanity, depopulate humanity, and bring in this one world government, one world religion. That's what we're fighting right now, folks. That's the enemy. There's a certain amount of them, a little bit of them, and a lot of us. We are in the billions. They're in the, I would have to say, in the thousands of the really powerful. So Bill Gates has been officially charged with murder over this in India. World's first the first boogeyman murder case against Bill Gates. Adar Punnarawalla filed in India's High Court. World's first boogeyman murder case against Bill Gates. Adar Punnarawalla filed in India High Court. Karan Yadif versus state and criminal writ petition. So petitioner has sought prosecution against manufacturer Bill Gates, his partner Adar Punawala, and other government officials and leaders involved in the murder of a 23-year-old man who lost his life because of this. The deceased took the boogeyman, believing in the false narrative that the boogeyman is completely safe, and also owing to the compliance requirements set by the railways that only doubled these people would be allowed to travel. So these people think they're going to get all these perks. They're scared of losing their jobs. They get out and get this. I just talked to a friend in Dallas who knows a person who has her face went paralyzed. I forgot the name of the disease. You guys can put it on here. Her face went paralyzed and her feet are now paralyzed. Okay, she's losing sensory. She can't type. It's getting really bad, folks. And then this lady was a liberal, and she went out and got the you know what, and now she's got I forgot the name of the disease. Bell's palsy. That's it. Yeah, Bell's palsy in her face, arms. She can't type anymore. She can't work, and she's losing her ability to walk. Okay. This is real. This is fucking real. Bell's palsy. That's it. That's it. You got it, folks. Thank you. So now we're seeing places like India fight back and put lawsuits on this demon. Let's call him a demon. Let's call him what he really is. Could be Satan himself, for all I know. Folks, this next part I'm going to read you right now. I want you to pay attention to this because I am in no way throwing General Flynn under the bus, but I'm bringing up some important issues that have me thinking. And it's only because I like to think that I get to the bottom of shit. And so with this email that I received from one of Nino's investigators, I want to get your all's opinion on this. Now, I'm not going to read the whole email because he lists some names here that I don't want to put out there, but you all understand. I firmly believe Trump did not sign the Insurrection Act because he knew ahead of time of what was going to happen with January 6th. That's why he didn't sign it. They were depending on him to sign it. It threw him off their game when he did not, as far as I understand. So this email caught my attention. I was like, scratch. That's pretty interesting. David, I remember the story Michael Flynn told whereby he, Powell, and Lynn Wood approached the White House and Trump. They had a meeting with Trump whereby they suggested instituting the Insurrection Act, which is what Drunk Nancy wanted. The thing that is very true in this scenario is keep your friends close and your enemies closer. In the past, I warned you about somebody. That somebody has claimed to be a personal friend of Flynn's, especially when he was trying to strong-arm Tim Holbseth. So I can't read the rest of this. It's too sensitive. I'm going to be having the Ghost talk about this today on Nino's Corner.tv. If you're not there, folks, that's where I keep my fringe content. So it makes me wonder. It begs the question that, okay, either Flynn approaching the White House and approaching Trump really didn't understand what was going to happen. He was unwittingly telling Trump to sign the Insurrection Act, or did he know they were planning the January 6th debacle? That's where I'm confused. Now, I'm not saying anything. I'm not accusing. I'm not accusing anybody of doing anything. Like I said, I still believe Flynn is a patriot, but this raises this raises questions in my mind. I don't feel like they knew. I think they thought it would have been the best. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, I think Flynn didn't know, and it was unwittingly, and he went up there to he thought it was the best choice. He thought it was the best option. I don't believe that he's a traitor. But I will bring things to your attention that come on my desk, and so we can all figure this out together. I just think it's an important factoid that we all need to know about, because we are in this war now, whether we like it or not, folks. Your lives are going to change. Every single one of you watching me right now, your lives are going to change, whether you like it or not. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. The war is just beginning. We're going nuclear. You better choose your fucking lane. Cocaine Mitch hands Democrats another lifeline. Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer have reached a deal to fund the government through February. You taxpayers are actually funding the government through February. Me and you, all of us together, when we pay our taxes, we're funding the government through February. That comes as a prior continuing resolution that McConnell agreed to set to expire tomorrow. This guy is a fucking traitor. He is a fucking traitor. Democrats will now have even more time to negotiate their big spending agenda. So instead of saying, no way, we're not doing this, let's shut the government down, they're going to have more time to go over how much spending they want to use of your fucking money. Your money is being used to destroy your livelihood. You're paying your enemies money to take down the government, to take down America. Some GOP senators have pledged to block any deal if federal funding for boogeyman mandates was not barred in it. Schumer took to the Senate floor today to announce this agreement. The details are sparse, aside from the fact that it includes a $7 billion in new spending for Afghanistan refugees. In the El Paso airport, folks, I was there. And they're everywhere. They're all over the place. They're laying down in sleeping bags. They're all over the fucking place. And let me tell you, folks, a lot of them are young men in their 20s. This is the takedown of America, folks, what you're witnessing. They're attacking us on all fronts. I don't know how some of you still fucking are not getting involved in some way, becoming proactive. I don't know how some of you sit back and eat your fucking potato chips, sit on your couch, watch football. Nothing I can do about it. There is something everyone can do about it. Representative Norman demands FDA release of boogeyman data in 100 days. So this guy's I have to say the word on this. I better not. South Carolina Republican Ralph Norman on Thursday introduced legislation that could force the Food and Drug Administration to release all documents relating to the boogeyman, you know what, within the next 100 days. The legislation is a direct response to a request made last month by a federal agency to prolong releasing data from the boogeyman, you know what, for up to 55 years. They don't want to release data until 55 years from now. And then they'll kick the can down even further. But he's demanding the release within 100 days. How does that receives approval in 108 days now require 55 years just to release the information? What don't they want you to know? Norman said to Fox News, it sounds like the beginning of a very bad joke. Really, the beginning? You're in the bad joke, motherfucker. I don't understand how some of these politicians, folks, I don't understand this. I think you need to have a course. You need to have some kind of understanding. They're getting their Crash 101 right now, but of course in globalism, in the New World Order, that's a reality. You need to know it. You need to understand it. You dumb motherfuckers. They either don't know, or they're all in on it. So I put the pieces of the puzzle together for most of you to figure out and put them in place where you feel they fit. And what's coming is now they're making a big stink about Roe versus Wade, right, folks? They're doing this because they want to use smoke and mirrors and steal the attention away from what really matters in the 2022 midterms. So now they're bringing Roe versus Wade back in the forefront so the dumb fucking liberals all go and vote for them. This is nothing more than trickery. And what they're doing is they're making this an issue once again. But really, liberals, you don't really care about my body, my choice, do you? Because otherwise, you wouldn't care about other people having this or not. It's only your body, your choice when you get to kill babies. Yeah, motherfuckers. Democrats will use abortion as a way to smokescreen inflation and other issues facing Joe Biden. So the real issues, like taking down America, no, we want to fucking kill our babies. So potential reversal of Roe versus Wade rattles political landscape. Do you see how smart these people are? Oh, shit. This is going to be bad for us in 2022. They may have ways of going around our cheating. Put Roe versus Wade out there again. Get them with that. Hey, guys, look over here. Psh. The volatile issue of abortion catapulted to the center of the political debate Wednesday after the Supreme Court signaled it would uphold a law undermining Roe versus Wade, creating the potential for the polarizing issue to reshape the electoral battlefield. Democrats immediately signaled they would aim to make abortion rights a central focus in next year's midterm elections, where their prospects have been viewed as dim, while many Republicans sought to keep the focus on inflation and other problems facing President Joe Biden. It's a circus to take away your attention from the true key issues, and the MSM, the feminist Nazis, are going to resurface, and they're going to go nuts over this, folks, and they're going to put all the media's focus on this. They're going to put all the media's focus on this. Fuck the issues. Forget that our country's being flushed down the toilet. We got to appease the feminazis. Oh, and their voices will be loud. Aren't most of you lesbians? You don't have babies anyway. Oh, boy. Do you see why I'm tired all day after these? Fully NBA player LeBron James tests positive for the boogeyman and is suspended for at least 10 days. Reports have also come in that he's a moron. Oh, you know that I fought his first cousin? I fought LeBron James' first cousin, Robert Davis. I believe he's passed away, rest his soul. He was a tough son of a bitch. He was a tough son of a bitch. But I knocked him out. Gave my little contribution to LeBron James and his family. Oh, boy. So not just players, Premier League matches disrupted by fans having medical emergencies in the stands. So now the players aren't just dropping dead. Now the fans are in the stadium. We've been saying for weeks now that something strange is going on inside hospitals across the U.S. and around the world. The number of cases of cardiac events appear to be spiking, especially among those who have been fully. We also have noted that the five-fold increase in cardiac arrests among the world's fittest athletes, global soccer players, which has been shrugged off by the media as mere coincidence. Now, cardiac events aren't only affecting athletes, they're disrupting games when fans have massive heart attacks in the stands. RT reports that 2 Premier League matches have been disrupted in recent days due to fans having massive heart attacks in the stands. The match between Watford and Chelsea, and the match begins. Southampton and Lancaster both had to be halted due to medical emergencies in the crowd on Wednesday night. Evil fuckers. Are you from Europe? Are you from London? You guys, it's not the way you guys say it over there. All right, folks. Let's keep going. I got to take a breather for a moment. I get a little worked up. Confusion breaks out as GOP lawmakers defy boogeyman mandate. So in Trenton, New Jersey, disorder and confusion erupted outside the New Jersey Assembly as several Republican lawmakers defied a new requirement to show proof of the boogeyman or a negative test and were blocked briefly from entering blocked briefly by state troopers from entering the ornate chamber Thursday. Ahead of an expected voting session, at least 10 Republicans strode toward the chamber on the first day the boogeyman requirement was in effect. They were halted at the chamber door by uniformed troopers for about 10 minutes before entering without showing any boogeyman proof or a negative test. Troopers stationed at the doorway declined to provide any explanation. If you're upholding this shit and you wear a badge, you're a piece of shit. You're directly conflicting with the Constitution. And the way I look at you, just doing my job. It's like in Nazi Germany was like just following orders. And today it's just doing my job, man. In Nazi Germany, just following orders. And today it's just doing my job, man. Pathetic. Medical official who oversaw Epstein's autopsy has resigned. NYC chief medical examiner, first woman to lead office, is resigning. New York City, Dr. Barbara Sampson, the first woman to lead the New York City office of the chief medical examiner in its 100-year history, announced her departure Monday from a job in the private and for a job in the private sector. Sampson has been with the agency, the nation's largest medical examiner's office, for 23 years, including 9 as chief, and steered it through the grueling onset of the boogeyman pandemic. So maybe some funny business going on there, folks. Texas resident gets over $4,000 in bills after getting tested for the boogeyman. I felt deceived. Really? I could have told you this in the very beginning. Just watch my videos. When Jaden Janik learned he had been exposed to the boogeyman shortly after his 75-year-old grandmother died from the boogeyman last year, he knew what he had to do. He went to the hospital for a rapid test that he thought would be free. He was wrong. Several months later, the Texas resident received 2 bills totaling over $4,000. I felt very angry. I felt deceived, Janik told CBS News consumer investigator correspondent Anna Werner. You felt deceived? Really? Did you really feel deceived? Fucking idiot. I'm telling you, folks, a lot of these, let's just say liberals, are starting to feel deceived. Oh, the glory of karma. The glory of karma. A lot more of you are going to feel even more and more received as we approach this nuclear time in America. We're coming into some very hard times, folks, and there's no way out of it. They're engineering everything that's happening right now. Humanity is at war with a few elite. With a few elite. They got all the money. They got all the power. But they can't stop the Great Awakening. We're waking up. We win. I wouldn't come on here every day if I didn't feel that we were going to win this. But it's going to get bad. You got to be ready for a tough fight. Merkel to enforce lockdown for those who don't get this. While the boogeyman is surging, how come it's not surging in Florida, where everyone's free and breathing air and smiling at each other? Why isn't it going crazy there? Because it only affects you. It doesn't affect you if you don't give a shit. It only affects you if you care. Guess what, folks? Flu season's coming. A lot of you are going to get the sniffles. A lot of you are going to have a fever in bed. But if you get tested, you're going to have the boogeyman. That's how this works. So Germany is poised to clamp down on people who aren't boogeyman and drastically curtail social contracts to ease pressure on increasingly Stretched hospitals. How come every nurse tells me there's no one in the hospitals? How come they all tell me that? One of her final acts as Chancellor, Angela Merkel, globalist, will hold talks with Germany's 16 regional premiers later on Thursday, at which they are expected to agree on new curbs, including allowing only people who are or recovered into restaurants, theaters, or non-essential stores. I wonder what it feels like they're psychopaths. They're money hungry, power hungry psychopaths. It doesn't affect them that they're selling out humanity. All of humanity. Can you imagine the karma on these people? No wonder they want transhumanism. No wonder they want it, folks, because they know when they die, they're going to fucking hell. They're going to a much worse place than what any of us are experiencing here right now. They're going to a much worse place. Sorry, folks. I think this coffee is really getting to me. Okay, so moving us into globalism with boogeyman and climate change. A radical UN climate-style boogeyman treaty for viruses. World Health Organization agrees to negotiate a boogeyman treaty to prevent the next outbreak. Less than a week after the new Omicron variant of the boogeyman was reported to the World Health Organization, global leaders on Wednesday agreed to start negotiations to create an international agreement to prevent the deal with future boogeymans, which some have dubbed a boogeyman treaty. The special session of the World Health Assembly. See what they're doing, folks? They use fear. They use fear to control you. That's how they're doing this. We just care about your health. Only the second ever held by the WHO's governing body pledged by consensus to begin work on the agreement. So, as they have put Biden in office as president, pretender, they know they only have limited time because we're in the zone now from the way I've been told. The white hats are in the zone. The white hats are moving in. And people are starting grassroots. We're catching on. So they're moving quick. It's like a quickening. Look at it as a quickening. They're moving really fast now. They got a limited amount of time before we all wake up. They want everybody under control, and they're moving in. I welcome a decision you have adopted today to establish an intergovernmental negotiating body to draft and negotiate. So they want to be able to control all countries. This is part of the globalist agenda by using scare tactics like your health, medical tyranny. The commitment by countries to negotiate a global accord would help to keep future generations safer from the impacts of, let's just call it what it is, the dirty elites that control humanity. Camps in Australia, nice little, no, folks, I'm not talking about summer camps either. I'm not talking about where you go and you go fishing and you play volleyball and you kick a soccer ball. None of that shit. Australian Hayley Hodgson was placed in a boogeyman internment camp despite testing negative for the boogeyman. She was confined to a box for 14 days, offered Valium when she complained about the confinement, and lost her job. You feel like you're in a prison. You don't say. You don't say. That's where we're heading with this, folks. That's where this is going. U.S. tightens travel testing requirements. These mandates a part of broader plan to fight the boogeyman. The Biden administration is tightening travel rules to and within the U.S., requiring all inbound international passengers to test for the boogeyman within 24 hours of departure. It's also extending its mask requirement on all domestic flights and public transportation through March 18th. The changes are part of a broader plan to bolster its arsenal of tools in the nation's fight against the boogeyman as the world enters its third year of the boogeyman pandemic. Meanwhile, UFC Dana White says he's feeling better. He's feeling good after relying on Joe Rogan's recovery methods. You know, the medicine they don't want you to have that kicks it in the ass. Dana and his family recently tested positive for the boogeyman. I probably could have been tested for it and been positive 100 times by now. And I've never felt it because I don't care. It's funny. It's funny when you don't care. You don't care. It doesn't affect you. Oh, I forgot to bring this up. The Oxford high school students killed in shooting is identified. More shootings. A football player, a volleyball striker, and an aspiring artist. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office has identified 4 students killed in Tuesday afternoon's mass shooting at Oxford High School. Boy 17th, the 4th to die in Oxford High shooting. Late Tuesday, authorities said Hannah Juliana, 14, Madison Baldwin, 17, and Tate Meyer, 16, as the 3 students who lost their lives following a 5-minute rampage at the Oakland County High School. A 4th student died Wednesday morning. Justin Schilling was 17, authorities said. Sheriff Michael Bochard said their families have been notified and each family has been assigned a deputy to remain as long as they need to provide protection they deserve. Okay, so here comes some propaganda. Here comes some propaganda from the left, and this is what they're doing. They're starting to throw the seeds out there right now so it could take root and grow. So here they are. I got this from a liberal publication, and this is how they keep the liberals under their spell. This is how they keep controlling them. The coming left propaganda. This is coming, folks. Not so secret weapon critics warn Trump GOP planning 2024 electoral college heist. Exactly what they do. It was the progressive left that was the first to put together something like this, one conservative says. Donald Trump calls the 2020 presidential election the real big lie, a crooked race tilted against him by Democrats via voter irregularities and fraud on a massive and determinative scale. His critics accuse him of gaslighting voters, claiming he and his GOP loyalists are planning a 2024 heist. As he teases another White House bid, Trump on Sunday taunted Democrats in a statement claiming, without providing evidence, they cannot argue the facts in states including Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, New Hampshire, and others, such as New Mexico, where the Democratic Secretary of State changed the voting laws without legislative approval just prior to the election, making it virtually impossible for the Republican presidential candidate to win. Now, remember, folks, I said this in the beginning. They cheated with Hillary, but they didn't cheat big enough. So they knew, okay, let's impeach this motherfucker. He's a monkey wrench in the globalist plans. Let's try to impeach him. That's all this was about. They weren't able to do that, so they're like, you know what? Fuck this guy. We're going to steal so big, we have to get let in through the front door. And once we're in the front door, we can take down America in rapid fucking pace and time. That's where we're at right now. That's why I'm saying we're approaching nuclear. Whoo! I need some water after that one. Ooh. So they're starting the propaganda, folks. And I'm afraid, I'm here as long as you guys need me. I'll be here. I'm in this fight to the end. I may want to take a break here and there to calm my mind, but I'm in this fight to the end, folks. In what the fuck news, grifters for Jesus, thieves for Jesus, pastors, folks. Let's see how much pastors make for a living. Now, I'm not saying all pastors are like this. I'm not saying all of them are, but most. So, you all call me a grifter? At least I'm not selling Jesus. These rich pastors from around the world have a net worth of millions of dollars. No, they're not feeding the hungry. They're making payments on their Lamborghinis. Don't you know? That's what Jesus wants them to do. These rich pastors from around the world have a net worth of millions. Joyce Meyer, 8 million. I'm sure it's a lot more than that. Matthew Ashimolowo, I guess he's from Africa, 10 million. Rick Warren, 25 million. Think about all the hungry people they could be feeding if they really believed in what they were telling you. Tamatope Beluga, Joshua, 15 million. Ray McCauley, 28 million. Creflo Dollar, net worth 27 million. Joel Osteen, my favorite, 40 million. I'm sure it's more than that. Enoch Edeboyi, there's a lot of these guys are like from Africa or what? 39 million. Benny Hinn, get ready for this. 42 million. Al Sharpton. You mean Al Sharpton's only 2 million? Really? Juanita Bynum, 10 million. Pat Robertson, 100 million. Chris Ogium, 50 million. Walter Mercado, 5 million. I'm in the wrong fucking business. I'm in the wrong business. Hubert Angel, 60 million. Kenneth Copeland, $760 million. $760 million. So I got some questions, folks. I got some questions here from the audience, and I got to say, these are pretty important questions. I'm not putting down other personalities that are on YouTube or giving their intel, their secret intel, but I think it's important. We all do our own investigative work here. All of you Nino's investigators. How do you like that? Give me a thumbs up if you like Nino's investigators. Thumbs up if you like the term Nino's investigators. Guess not. Okay, one person, two people. All right, so here's a question, and I want you all to do your homework on this and tell me what you think. Now, I'm trying to get a show with this guy. His name is Simon Parks. I'm trying to get Parks because I want to talk to him about this, because if he does have this intel and this is going to happen, we all need to know about it. I got a mass email the other day stating that intel coming from Simon Parks. Now, I'm not putting him down. I hope and pray this is real. I hope and pray this is real. I can only hope. But the intel coming from Simon Parks is stating that Biden will step down from the presidency December 15th for Kamala to take over. He also reported Nancy was caught with a massive crime in which she traded intel that could decertify California. So December 15th is fast approaching. The word that I'm getting is no, this is not going to happen. But we shall see what happens December 15th. He's stating this. We're coming up on the date, December 15th. I can hope. I pray this is going to happen, but we shall see. I'd like to get an interview with him. Simon, I would love to do an interview with you and talk about this, because the intel I'm getting is that this is not going to happen. Now, I'd like to talk to you and friendly. I'm not going to debate you. I just want to get your perspective on it, sir. That's it. And you're friends with Charlie Ward, and it's I think people need to hear this, and I would love for my audience to hear this. So, question number 2. Nino, I live on the border in Del Rio, and the flood of immigrants and cartel activity is having me and my family relocate from the border area. I'm scared for our country, Nino. Even if Trump gets reinstated, I do not see how he can turn this around. I'm afraid it's too late. Do you still believe Trump will be reinstated? And if so, do you think this can get turned around? I know we're at war. This is a war. Like I said, you cannot You need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. It's about to get a lot worse. We're going nuclear. I know that if Trump being reinstated by the way you think he is, Congress and Supreme Court's not going to happen. From what I understand, there has to be some kind of event where the military has to decide. It's got to be like a Cuban Missile Crisis. So it's depending on an event. At the same time, people will be getting proactive, calling their legislator, calling the mayors, calling their governors, and trying to be proactive in taking this country back so that when this event does happen, from what I understand, you guys have heard the 107 interviews just like I have. I'm not saying anything crazy here, but some event needs to happen to where people realize and recognize Trump really is the commander-in-chief of the highest faction of the military. He's kind of just sitting back, waiting until shit gets really fucking bad and some kind of event happens. Now, that's how I understand it. I could be wrong. And yeah, I've lived on the border my entire life. It's bad. To me, El Paso is Mexico. Like I feel like I live in Mexico, to be honest with you. I have all my life. I have nothing against the Mexican people. They're beautiful people, folks. They're people just like you and I, despite our color, skin tone. We're all the same. They have what it is the uneducated and poverty-stricken people that are coming here that only know crime, that only understand crime to get ahead in life are coming here. And this is by design and engineered by the global elite, funding them in caravans to come here while they decimate and kill our middle class. And this Omicron that's coming or here, they're looking to put us in lockdown once again. And if we don't have strong people in office, governors, mayors, city reps, which you all should be doing your job and contacting and letting them know how you feel, getting proactive. That's what your all's job should be right now. They're going to lock us down, folks. They're going to lock us down again. Completely burn the Constitution of the United States. Hey, Nino, you've said fall determines it all, and you've said nuclear winter. What do you mean fall determines it all if it's going to be a nuclear winter? Well, for me, fall is, I think it's been a nuclear fall, folks, to be honest with you. I think everything I've said was right. It's going to get crazier as this goes on. I think all of us, common sense knows this. More people are going to be losing their job. More of these mandates. Cargo ships are being held out at sea. They're destroying the economy. The borders are wide open. It's going to intensify and get worse. What don't you understand about that? When I said fall determines it all, to me, I had markers, okay? I had markers, and a lot of you know I had markers. The markers never came to pass. They never happened. Just saying. I'm going to be transparent and honest with all of you. The markers never fucking happened. So I'm not going to lie and say, oh, this guy's getting arrested. This guy was put to death. No, my markers never happened, and I'm being honest with you. Folks, go to ninoscorner.tv, ninoscorner.tv. The Ghost has a very important message that he's going to lay out for all of us. He watched the McInerney interview. If you haven't seen the McInerney interview on ninoscorner.tv, I understand it's a buzzkill. It's hard to digest. It's tough. But I interview everybody. I give everybody a platform to give their opinion. And let me tell you, McInerney is a very experienced, respected general, so I respect his opinion. And I have to put it right up there with 107 and the Ghost and all of them. But the Ghost has a rebuttal. He's going on today. He's going to say, not so fast. There are white hats. There are things going on, and it's going to be an explosive interview today on ninoscorner.tv, folks. And the new heavyweight champion of podcasting, See you all over at ninoscorner.tv. Peace.